Well, that's at least, that is at least telling us something to look for in our pictures. So, if one of the things that, well, you guys need to really check out our website. I've shared the link in the chat room. You guys that are listening that aren't in the chat room, you need to go to www.ghostlyphotographs.com, and all the pictures she's talking about are out there on this website. And it's also got a link out there to where you can buy her book where she talks about all this stuff. So you guys can check that out. So if I wanted to go out, go ahead.
One thing I wanted also to mention, along with taking photos, do it in the daytime. Everybody thinks they have to be out there at night, at midnight, at 3 a.m. That is not the case. Some of my best captures have happened at 11 or 11:30 in the morning. The shots at the Tenney Gatehouse, the ones down the stairs, it was about 6 p.m. If you look at the following photos in that group, there's a man in the window. There's his reflection, his two-dimensional reflection, and that was about 7:30. But I highly encourage people any time of the day to go out, because once you get into, there's one called Gettysburg Farmhouse. This is outdoors, broad daylight, 11:30 in the morning. I've got a photo. I've got three, a group of three, and there's direct sunlight on it, because you can see from the roof above it, you can see the shadow. It can happen at any time of day. So that's what I really encourage people to do, is to get out and shoot daytime, daylight. My preference, honestly, is to go and shoot in daylight hours. You use the flash only when I need to. But there's so much, they're around us all the time. So I just wanted to make sure I got that point in.
Oh, yeah. My best pictures have been daytime.
I'm so glad to hear that.
Near sunset, during the time when there would be actual activity from the people who would have lived there at the time, because most of the time, if it is a haunted location, if it's haunted by people who actually live there, what would they have been doing at 3 o'clock in the morning?
Exactly.
More than likely, they'd be sleeping. Let's be honest. Even, like the Sally House in Atchison, Kansas, between 3 o'clock in the morning and 7 o'clock in the morning, it was dead. No pun intended, it was dead.
Yeah.
Because it just was. You knew that you could get some sleep at that point. So it's just what it is. So unless murders happened at that time in the morning, unless that's the only thing. So I agree with you. Daytime is a good time. There's no need to be out there in the middle of the night in a snowstorm trying to take pictures if you can do them during the day and it's nice and sunny.
Right.
So.
Plus, it gives us a lot more opportunities. Quite often, I'll go to historical locations, and I'll just go in. I'll just buy my ticket like any other visitor. And when they allow to take photos, I take many photos. I've done that in historical houses. I've done that going to forts. And it's a great opportunity that I think a lot of people are missing out on if you're doing photography. That's the one nice thing. I haven't got to worry about, audio or EVPs, with all kinds of sound pollution and other people around. That's the one nice thing with photography. You've got a lot more opportunities.
We do the same thing. We go to locations that may or may not be haunted because history says, hey, it could be haunted. Why not go and check it out?
Absolutely.
And you don't have to go and have a big old investigation. You can just go. Like there's one place here, the Villisca Axe Murder House. Okay. It's been on every TV show out there that's haunted. Most terrifying places in America. Very first show, #1. Okay. This, you don't have to go at night and spend the night. You can spend $10 and go in for a day tour between 1st of April and Halloween during the day, during the week, when hardly anybody's there, for $10, and do your tour all by yourself with nobody in there for the same price that you would do for an overnight where you have to have 6 people for $470.
I agree with you 110%.
Which one makes more sense? So, and you're going to have the same amount of activity. Why, I don't know, but it just is. And that, at least in our experience, that's been the case. So check it out before you go and spend all the money to spend the night at one of these haunted locations, unless you're only going to be in that location for one time ever. You know, unlike us, we live down the road, 4 hours away. We can drive up there. So
yeah, that's on my my bucket list someday. I'd like to go and experience the place. I'm in Connecticut, so it's a little bit further for me.
Right, but you have the same sort of things, though. It's not like you can go to the Haunting in Connecticut house and check it out because it's a private home.
Right.
I don't think Deb, the family doesn't live there anymore, and I'm pretty sure Deb Johnson doesn't want to talk to you. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's
in all honesty.
And that's something that happened, a long time ago. And this is just my opinion. When you get a house like that, it's also the people who live in the house that are part of the influence.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my own personal opinion. And that things change when different people live in the house. And at this point, it is history. And yes, whoever lives there right now, they deserve to have their privacy. This is something that happened before they were there, and we need to respect their property and their space.
Yeah, I
There's
agree.
plenty of other interesting places to go to.
Oh yeah,
you just have to do a little bit of research. I've got my list. For when the weather gets nice into the spring and into the summer, that I've just been meaning to get out to. That I'm finally going to be able to have the time to be out and exploring. And when you're talking about going during the day, I've also found that I do best. I have my best success when I'm working alone. If I go to an investigation, I will go and say, I want to go wander. You guys okay with that? And that's when I will do it. When I'm by myself, honestly, is when I have my most success. That's something else for people to go and try. We always tend to work in groups, and it is a lot of fun to go to locations and do the occasional overnights, or where you're there for 5 and 6 hours. That does have its benefit, but don't let that limit you. A lot of times, depending on location, how far it is, and again, budget and what's affordable, just going through a historical place during the daytime. But people should try working alone. Honestly, if you're doing something that's, whether you're just working with EVPs and you're in a place that's mostly empty, or especially with a camera, because you don't have to worry about that kind of noise. But try going just by yourself, or at most with one other person, and each of you just kind of fan out and do your own thing. Don't let somebody else distract you. I think that's also part of why I have a much higher than average success rate.
I tend to wander off on my own. I do that a lot, but that I don't know why I do that, but I have a tendency to do that myself.
It's what works for you. It's what you like.
Well, it is. I like to listen. Because the spirits tend to tell me what's going on, and I tend to be able to listen better if I don't have a lot of people around. So
exactly.
So
again, it's that distraction. Where's your focus? And just kind of putting your energies and your vibes out, and it's like, okay, where are you guys? Help me find you.
Well, we're going to be coming up on another break here in a few minutes, but I wanted to ask you a question. Dara asks, what is the favorite location that you've been to?
Gettysburg. Love, 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 love Gettysburg. That place never disappoints. I think I've come back with a capture every single time I have been there. and there are so many wonderful places. It's easily the top of my list. And yes, it is truly as active as people say it is.
Well, where in Gettysburg did you go? Because we had activity in our hotel room. What was the name? What was there?
Family show.
No, it is a family show, but not that type of activity.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
One of my guests that I'm going to be having on in the future, her name is Kat Gash. She had activity in our hotel room as well. But we were right across the street. The Budget Host Inn. We were there, and it's right across the street from the graveyard. But I don't know why.
Wait.
Go ahead.
Wait, the Budget in Gettysburg, the Budget Host.
Yeah.
You're not talking about the Three Crowns Budget, are you?
Yep.
Oh my God, that's where I always stay. Seriously, at the Three Crowns. It's old, but you know what? It's clean, it's safe, and it's very affordable. That's where I stay when I'm in Gettysburg. Oh my God. And yes, you are across.
The place is good.
And yes, the pizza place is really good. You're a block away from the Dobbin House, which has got the best French onion soup in the world.
And Friendly's is the other way.
And because you're close enough that you can go for a walk. But that's oh my God, I love that. I love stuff like that. But that's where I always stay.
That's where we stayed, and Friendly's was my first job.
Okay.
I'm from Baltimore, so
all right.
Friendly's was a big deal for us. Mm-hmm. But that was my first job, was an ice cream scooper. So we every meal, every breakfast we had at Friendly's, because it was half price breakfast during the week, and we had ice cream every day. So to me that was like, oh, it's old home week, and so to me that was important. Then we walked everywhere from there. Mm-hmm. So. Because you can walk over to the Jenny Wiley house. You can walk to the orphanage from there.
Yes, the Jenny Wade house is active. Yeah,
that's what I meant. Jenny Wiley, guys, I'm sorry. That's actually in Kentucky by my mom's house. I'm sorry. So, yeah, Jenny Wade. So,
there's so many amazing places. And Dobbin's Tavern. I caught a wonderful photo downstairs in the Springbrook Tavern of a full body apparition down there. There's a short video, 3.5 minutes on my website, and she's in it. And it's a young girl. You can see the white kerchief around her shoulders.
You know what? We're going to have to stop. We're at our break.
Okay.
I lost track because this got interesting. Hey, guys. I mean, not that it wasn't interesting before. You're listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama. We got a 2-minute break. You guys go get a drink, come back, and we'll finish talking to Julie Griffin about Gettysburg.